the greatest pro wrestling match of all time. Hiroyoshi Tenzan versus Satoshi Kojima. Two of the biggest and most illustrious companies in Japan coming together to put on the ultimate clash of champions. The lineage of the Triple Crown dating all the way back to April 1989, strapped around the waist and shoulders of then ace Jumbo Tsuruta. Now in the hands of Mr. Lariato himself, Satoshi Kojima. And standing opposite him, trained by the likes of Hiroshi Hase and Kensuke Sasaki, one half of Tencozy, Hiroyoshi Tenzan. Defeating his former trainer in the form of Kensuke Sasaki, and as the old adage would suggest, the student finally becomes the teacher, walking out of the Osaka Prefectural Gymnasium as the new IWGP Heavyweight Champion for an astounding third time. New Japan 2005 New Year Gold Series. The meeting of two former partners turned rivals, having fought in literal wars by each other's side against legitimate icons that are Genichiro Tenryu and Masahiro Chono, as to give an example of their pedigree, sparking a short and harrowing rivalry, but more importantly, the eventual reunion of Tencozy. And let the battle commence. Both men meet in the middle following a feeling out process. Lockup. Who will be the first to establish dominance? Back and forth they go before Tenzan gets the upper hand, pushing Kojima up against the ropes, letting go of his grip at the referee's command. But then boom! A slap right across the face of his former partner, besieging him to bring the heat. Boy was it summertime. Kojima responds with a series of his own slaps before another lockup ensues. However, this time, the master of the lariat comes out on top, cornering the New Japan representative prior to an echoing chop beyond the chest of Tenzan, making it his canvas, and slowly painting it red. Now, we're even. Past the 20-minute mark, the tug-of-war continues, sharp elbow strikes now being dished out. The fight spilled to the outside. No one said this was gonna be pretty. Kojima tries to use the environment to his advantage. Bloody murder would have been the case presented had he landed a clubbing lariat to the neck of Tenzan, crushing it against the ring post, but Tenzan ducks, resulting in Kojima's arm to be weakened by the cold and unforgiving steel. Back in the ring now, submissions have already been traded. No man quits. The signs of exhaustion now begin to show, but the fighting spirit of both men will not allow for either one of them to go down. Headbutts, elbow drops, sleepers, deadly and paralyzing backdrops. Still not over. Now the big boy moves are broken out. Tenzan with his signature Mongolian chops and attempts of choking the life out of his opponent with an anaconda vice. Now how does Kojima respond? By the laws of less is more. He tries to get back up on his feet, but realizes the lack of energy and overwhelming pain was too much to overcome. So he allows for Tenzan to get up on the top turnbuckle. And here we go. Moonsault, but Kojima rolls out of harm's way. Crash and burn goes the knees of the IWGP Heavyweight Champion. Dragon Screw. If a man has no knees, how can he stand? And more notably, how can he fight? Figure 4. No! Tenzan rolls over, transferring the pressure and the pain to the ace of All Japan. Minutes pass and still no man could be on top for very long. The very best of New Japan and All Japan. But this has to end one way or another. Tenzan stitches in another anaconda vice. The world of Kojima gradually fades to black. In spite of that, by pure grit and determination, Kojima fights out of it. And here comes the dreaded and decapitating lariat. Kojima struggles for another lariat, an attempt at a finishing blow. Off the ropes he goes, and a spinning back fist by Tenzan from left field. Even playing field once more. At this point, exhaustion has overtaken both warriors. Desperation move after desperation move. Each and every inch move took absolutely everything from both men. It was a game of survival at this point. It was no longer a question of who was the better fighter. They've already proven themselves by going this distance. It was a matter of selfish pride. Who wanted it more? Would you be willing to give up your life for this passion and the greatest sport in the world? The final stretch ensues and Tenzan seems to be on top. But as previously mentioned, no one is king for long. Another valiant but missed moonsault. The crown gets exchanged from Chicken Wing to Anaconda Vice. The rooster who sees red versus the suffocation power of a snake. But has the snake been suffocated itself? Kojima labors away and it pays off. Falling powerbomb! 1, 2, but was the check not enough? Elbow, chop. Tenzan is down, but we're all familiar with the pattern now. The comfort of familiarity lulls us into believing in the comeback of Tenzan. He rolls out of the ring, lips bloody, gasping for air. Water is poured over him in hopes of a revival. He finds whatever's left in his tank to finish this fight. But Kojima realizes that the man he won tag championships with is running on empty. 1, 2, and he'll see you in hell, Kojima. But like a fish out of water, he can only lay and squirm. 2 minutes? 2 minutes left? The final countdown starts. And even if Tenzan couldn't fight, he could still defend his pride and honor with a move of his shoulder. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, and Tenzan is but a lifeless corpse in the open casket in the form of a New Japan ring. The referee had no other option but to stop the madness. After an hour of nothing but violence, Satoshi Kojima stood and lived to breathe as both IWGP Heavyweight and Triple Crown champion, cementing himself as ace of all Japan.